Hey everybody, you're watching the channel that nobody watches, The Punk Hero Show, and I'm your host, as always, unfortunately for you, Punk Hero, and today do I have a treat for you. Yes, another celebrity interview, and this time it's Ezra fucking Buzzington. Roll the intro. Oh. Man, Ezra, we have known each other since MySpace.
Going back to the 20s, I tell you, these kids today and their technologicals and their cell phones, I don't get it.
So, I was thinking about this today, and I could be wrong, correct me, but I think you're in the most famous Halloween candy commercial of all time.
Yeah, I think I probably am, honestly. I really wish they were playing it again. I mean, that would be nice to have some change, especially now that I need it, especially. But, it ran longer, I think, than any other Snickers specialty commercial. At least it seems like it did. Like 7 years or something ridiculous like that. And it was fun. I was thrilled to death. It was not bad for a 2-day work week. It wasn't too bad. But, those days are over. On to something new.
How do they shoot that?
How did they shoot it?
Yeah, like, did you shoot it in front of a green screen, or?
It was really funny, actually. Yes, to answer your question. Green screen, little dots and all that stuff. But then when they were shooting the kids and the little guy,
Yeah.
He had, he literally was a person of small stature.
Okay.
And they had a big, basically bubble, sort of either plaster or styrofoam, I forget what it was made of, bubble that was on top of his head. He was wearing black, and it was like, big head thing. Oh, no, he wasn't wearing it. He was wearing the costume this one. And he had the big head.
Right.
But it wasn't my head. It was just like a big thing that they had dots on. And I literally was behind him, guiding him, because he couldn't see. So, we had to bump into the car together, and I had hold of his waist, basically the back of his waist, and pushed him to his mark. It was so much fun. I just loved it. And then I would deliver the lines behind him. It was very silly. The kids were great. I thought they were pretty damn funny. Isn't that nuts? And I just absolutely loved it. It was a night shoot, obviously. I think it was in Pasadena or maybe East LA, I forget. And, it was a lot of fun. And the director was a great guy. He really should have filmed. I forget what it is, but well-known film. But, didn't cast me, so fuck him.
You've been in everything. I mean, like every major film of the last 15 years. Fight Club, The Artist, The Prestige. Then you're unstoppable. Leathernecks.
Yeah, it's funny because when I've been really super lucky, no question about it. Super, super, super lucky, and I don't know what it is that I bring to the table necessarily, but it seems directors of a certain vision or ilk seem to like it. So the David Finchers, the Michelle Havanasi, I still couldn't say his name, the artist, Havanicius, I think is how you say it, Havanicius, in a bad French accent. Terry Zwigoff, Stephen Chambers, people who have a kind of cinematic edge, I think, recognize in just, if nothing else, my physical appearance, a certain kind of edge that many more straightforward directors possibly might be intimidated by or don't know what to do with. And so they go with safer choices. But no, I've been really, really, really lucky for the quality of films that I've done. And what I like about that, too, is the really good directors, what I view to be really good directors, have had me back more than once. So it's like, that's a good thing. It makes me feel pretty good. I just finished shooting with David Slade, who did 30 Days of Night, and Heart 8. No, not Heart 8, that's Paul Thomas Anderson, I'm sorry. He did, what the hell is it called? David's first movie, when
Oh, cool.
The TV show, right? Because he was showrunner on that for the first part of it. I'm actually going to look at this movie because I don't want to be an asshole and not be able to tell you what it was. Anyway, I just worked with him on something called Nightmare Cinema, which is an anthology horror.
Yeah, you play like Ron or something, don't you?
Say again?
The character's Ron that you play, I think?
Yeah, his name is Ron. It's actually two different characters. They're twins. And what you have, his short film is called This Week Digress, which is British, put this way to the exit. And a woman takes her two boys to the doctor, and she begins basically hallucinating. So everybody she looks at turns into like these crazy, weird, frightening creatures. And I play twin brothers. Featured, nothing. He was not like I'm the lead or anything. She is, and she's a doll. And it's funny because when I went to go shoot Law and Order, the Menendez brothers, right after, like maybe 6 months after we shot that short film, she was also played opposite me in the act. So it was kind of a very, very, very small world. At any rate, let me find. This is going to drive me crazy if I don't find what David's film was. So anyway, it was great working with him, and my point is that working with really, really good directors, it makes me very happy that they have me back. Like Alexander Ahoff in The Hills Have Eyes also put me in Mirrors, and I haven't worked with Alex since, but that doesn't really mean anything. It's just probably nothing right has come up. I was asked to audition for the remake he did, Piranha, but I was booked. I couldn't do it. But yeah, anyway. I'm still looking, but now you fill this dead air with talk because I'm looking something up on
Okay.
IMDb.
So you worked with Terry twice, right?
Terry Zwigoff?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Art School
Terry
Confidential
Zwigoff.
and Ghost World.
That's right. Yeah, Ghost World was first, and then Art School. And he came out to me because I was nude in Art School. As a
I remember.
model. Yeah, and he came out to me after that really long shoot. It was a ridiculously long day. I'm walking around all day in a robe and this awful wig and this crap on my teeth and make them look bad and blah, blah, blah. And he came up to me and he said, Ezra, I really, really owe you for this. Simply because, for an actor to be naked on film is hard candy. That's the name of David's first film, Hard Candy. I worked with, I'll come back to this other story, but I worked with David on an industrial for, I think it was like, I don't know, some telephone company thing called Dookie See God, and ran into him at Sundance. And then the following year when he was there with Hard Candy, he did 30 Days of Night. We tried to get me on that, but that didn't work out. So David is he's a really cool dude, and he apparently likes my type. At any rate, Terry came up to me and thanked me personally for being willing to be naked on screen. And what was funny about that is we kept shooting more than the scene that I shot with John Knockers and the other actors. There was a pretty young art student girl in the class. She was off to my right when I'm sitting on the platform. She was off to my right. And everybody else was putting this release, and Terry wanted a few more shots of just my new guy and blah, 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 see what I could do. So I'm standing, she's still seated at her desk, and, the drawing pad, and her eyes are like right at crotch level because I'm standing right in front of her. And I'm waving my junk at her, just talking about, and we'd already talked, so it was all cool. It was all good. She knew I was coming. So I'm just kind of standing there, kind of thrusting my hips forward, stretching, ooh la la, trying to make nice to her. And at one point I just think, I don't know what this means, but I asked her, I said, so, you like bocce ball? And the entire crew, cracked up and kind of sort of ruined the take because they were laughing. And she just kind of stared at me and said, because, I play. But I didn't even know what bocce ball was. I'd heard of it, and it just sounded funny. But I didn't know bocce balls are fucking huge. They're really big, apparently. And you roll them down. And Terry came over and said, that was fucking hilarious. But unfortunately, apparently they couldn't put it on the DVD thing because she was an extra background player, and something about a contract, they didn't get a release or something like that, which is a shame. But I do have a picture somewhere of me just standing in front of her with my junk hanging up. She was very sweet. She was actually, as I recall, she was a police officer.
Really?
She was, she was a cop.
Because you got pretty close to her there.
Nice gal. Yeah, I can't remember her name. That was a great set. It was really, really, really cool. And then I got to work with John again, of course, many, many years later. And I was a little hesitant to even talk to John when I was first on the set of Crossbones in Puerto Rico. And of course, it was first day. I show up and I land in the plane, and basically I'm on set. I was like, here I am. And we have to break through a door and knock it down. It's crazy. It was a good time. But I was hesitant to approach John because, A, he's the star. So you always want to be cautious when you approach the number one on the call sheet person, because you just never know. And though I'd worked with John, we certainly didn't get to know each other. He just walked around me and delivered his speech on the phone, and that was the extent of it. And I wasn't sure if he even recognized me because in our school I had a really long wig and bad teeth and blah, blah, blah. We never did talk about it, and I honestly don't know if John even knows we'd already shot a film together. But he is the most amazing human being really on the planet. He's just, God, he's incredibly giving, he's incredibly loving, he's incredibly smart, and very, very shy. At least he was on set on Crossbones with me. And we spoke, of course, because I was his right-hand man for a lot of the shooting, and I was always around him. But I don't know, he was just a doll. I love that man desperately. He's a genius. Anyway, I just kind of rambled there. Sorry about that.
No, man, I'm in awe. I'm just taking it all in. I'm absorbing it.
What can you do?
Now back to Terry Zwigoff.
Zwigoff.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Zwigoff, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know I'm from Muncie, right?
I can tell.
Was Steve Buscemi, was that at all based on Crumb? Do you know? Because, you know, the whole record collection and everything, it seemed very Crummish.
I'm sorry, was that based on what?
Like Robert Crumb? Do you know at all? Like,
oh, Crumb. Yeah, Steve, I don't think Steve's character really was. I think Steve's character might have even been a lot closer to an amalgam of maybe Dan Close and Terry. They're both kind of, they're very sweet, both of them.
Yeah.
Close, they play things very, very close to the chest, and Terry is a collector of old records, and Dan, of course, is the brilliant artist he is. Maybe a little art Crumb. Honestly, I'm not sure. Did you see the documentary Crown?
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah. There was, I suppose, a lot of similar. I think maybe physically there were more similarities between Steve and Arkrum than personality, as I recall the documentary. Though maybe, I mean, Arkrum's relationship with women obviously was somewhat problematic. So
yeah, that
might have been a part of it. Honestly, whenever you write anything, you know this too as a writer. Whenever you write something, it may be based, or you might have a vision of a person you know, but then the character takes over and they just start talking on their own, and the wise writer lets them do that. You don't try and edit them. You just say, have at it, character. You know more than I do about you. And so that's probably, my guess is that's probably what happened with Steve's character in Ghost World is it turned into what it eventually was. It was a heartbreaking movie. It was just such a sweet, sweet, scary, sad film. I love Ghost World. I'm so proud to have been in that.
Yeah.
And it's affected an entire generation. My character actually is known to an entire generation, which makes me very happy. Oh, here's a funny story. One day, I live in West Hollywood, California, and there's a huge, huge, huge parade here every, I think, summer. It is for Gay Pride. And so I go down, so it's kind of lame, honestly, but I guess it's very crowded, and whatever. But you go down, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe 8, I went down and just was wandering around with a friend, looking at stuff, and I'll be damned if Weird Al Yankovic didn't just, like, walk right by me, pushing his stroller. And I thought, well, what the hell? That's weird. Fucking Al Yankovic. I have to go introduce myself. So I kind of literally went chasing him down the street. And you got to remember, it's like, it's crowded. Tons and tons and tons and tons of people on the streets, on the sidewalk. It's just nuts. It's like New York City. Somebody's trying to leave a message on the street. So I'm changing rooms. And so I go chasing after him. I said, hey, excuse me, ow, ow, ow. And he stops and he looks around very suspiciously, of course, because he's a celebrity in a crowd with a child. You're going to have to, watch yourself.
Yeah.
And he looks at me kind of funny, like, yeah. And I started to say, to introduce myself, and he stopped cold and he looked right at me and he shut me up and he says, oh my God, you're Ezra Buzzington.
Wow.
I went, what? You're fucking recognizing me? And it turns out, that not only did Al know my character Weird Al from Ghost World, obviously, he was familiar with it, but he had actually apparently used a little snippet of my scene for some live tour that he'd been doing for a couple of years. And it was like, I was on tour with Weird Al and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
It was so great. And then not long after that, I ended up shooting like a strangely short thing that he shot for a specific, state fair or something. I played a crazy homeless person. And it was great. So I got to know him, and I still get a Christmas card every year.
Awesome.
Really cool dude. So
he was a fanboy, kind of.
Well, yeah, I kind of went fanboy, and then he went fanboy. I was like, well, this is just fucking great. We're fanboys. Which is pretty cool.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching part 1 of the Ezra Buzzington interview. I want to thank Ezra for joining us today. It was so awesome to have him on the show. Down below, there's a link to where you can find my movie, The Shed, on Facebook. Support The Shed, or you'll live in a shed. I'll break you. I crush you. I break you, I crush you. You support my page, I not hurt.